Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I am back with another Cinema 4D and Octane Render tutorial. Today I'll be taking you through the visualization of this wine project here. I'll be taking you through the modeling. I'll be using this original project as a reference. I don't need to remodel everything from scratch. It's a waste of time. This project did take days and days to make, so you can't expect me to cram it all into an hour-long tutorial. I'll be taking you through some advanced texturing of the project, very layered and detailed texturing to get that photorealistic look. We'll be making the apple as well, but like I said, the modeling, we'll sort of just be using references. We're not going to go and remeasure everything exactly again, but I'll be taking you through every single step all the way up to the rendering in Octane Render, and it's going to be pretty fun. Any textures that I use that aren't made by me will be from polygon.com, but the branding and custom textures and stuff we'll be making in Photoshop ourselves and be making pretty much everything from scratch. I'll also be taking you through the lighting and stuff like that. All the fun stuff in one project. If you want to download this project, and follow along or just like edit it yourself, you can go to patreon.com/ArthurWhitehead. It's $5 subscription, and then you can get this project. You can get the Razer Black Widow, the Oreo, the BMW project as well, and you can get all those projects, including this one, on there. And then I'll also be uploading the rest of my projects in the future. As time goes along, I'll be slowly uploading those projects on patreon.com. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Arthur Visuals. There I post my renders. I also go through my everyday life on there as well. And I'm also thinking about starting a vlog on IGTV, so you can sort of see my everyday life as a 3D artist at the moment. And I know a lot of people don't go on IGTV, so if people do go on there to watch that, then I'll know that they're going there for specifically that, which is good. And then you can also like me on Facebook. I post my tutorials and my renders and engage with the Octane community there as well. So without further ado, we'll get started with the actual tutorial now. So here we have the original project. We'll go and create a new project over here, like so. Let's just delete, let's close that, create a new project. And I'm just going to import some references here. So I'm going to take the original bottle over here. I'm just going to import that. Then I'm going to go and save this project as my tutorial here. Separate wine tutorial. And then we're just going to turn off our textures over here. And then we'll also go and import a few other things. So the apple. Let's go and take the original apple. So let's find the apple here, like so. Here's the apple. We'll copy this in, and we'll also copy the leaf, copy, and let's just do that. And then paste it in here, just so I have some references. Actually, let's do that. Let's just copy the general stuff so we have some placements, then we'll do the actual copies later. So just copy all of this, like so. I'll just paste it in here, just so that we have some references for modeling, and then we'll just sort of, we'll remake everything and sort of correct the things that I've made mistakes in the previous one. For example, the bottle isn't 100% correct, but it doesn't matter. It looks the same, but we can sort of correct it here just in case you guys are fussy. So first off, we'll start with the bottle. We'll create a cylinder over here, and we'll make it, we'll just center this bottle over here. Then we'll make the cylinder, we'll solo the cylinder in the bottle, which I think I've already done, yeah. And then we'll go and make the cylinder X-ray. We'll just lower this radius down here, change it to 12 segments, like so. And I think that's a good enough radius. And then we'll just turn on the height like so. And then what we'll do is we'll make it editable and optimize it so that all the points are closed. We'll go and make the axis at the bottom, and then just center out the coordinates, zero out the coordinates so it's centered nicely, like so. I can actually keep that there. I meant to just do that. And then these top faces here, what we can do is just make it around the height of the bottle, something like that. And you can obviously see the values and stuff here, so you can just copy these if you really want to. The idea is that you can learn how to do this and make it yourself, but if you want to straight up copy it, you can. And then what we'll do is we'll just put a line here. Just switch to this mode here. We'll just put a line here, there. I'm just going to straight up copy this actual bottle here. Like I said, I don't need to go and remake this because there's no point. I've already done this already, and I don't need to spend another few days getting these measurements accurate. So here I'm just going to straight up copy it. And the reason why I'm actually just copying it and just showing you guys is because people complain when I don't model the stuff, and I want to show you how simple it really is. So just add a line there. We can add a line there. And then what we can do is add in a line down there. Take these two and then scale it down like so. Push that up, and then what we can do is add in a line there, 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 there. Then we can go and just sort of iron these out. So here I'm just showing you how it would be modeled. With the original project, I did go and make sure the measurements and details and stuff were down. I obviously can't do that this time because it's a tutorial. Don't want to spend hours and hours just trying to model a bottle. So I sort of just have to rush through it, but I'm still showing you how it would be made. So something does look off already. That's a bit strange. I think the original, something's wrong here. So let's take a look. That bottle's fine. Maybe the original bottle's wrong, which I did have a feeling it was. Let's take a look here and take a look there. The original bottle is wrong, which is funny. I didn't actually know that. Anyways, let's just carry on. So let's go and sort of use again. I did feel like something was wrong when rendering it, but couldn't really figure out what, but it's already rendered and posted and stuff, so I'm not going to go fix that now. So yeah, so that's that base mesh done. And what we can do now is just get these details of this top piece here, right? So if you want to take a look at what the bottle looks like now, that's it over there. And we can get these details down here at the top of the lid here now. I used actual references in my original project, but in this one I can just straight up copy it. So I think what we'll do is make this bottle a tiny bit higher. Then we'll just sort of start adding in the lines for the details here. So here what we have is we have a line there. We have one there as well. So maybe if I move this closer just so I can get this more accurate. The idea is that you can just learn the concept of this and then adjust it to whatever model yours is. But if you want to go and copy the exact values, you can. I don't really mind. But you can just download this actual project which I put up online if you want to do that. But anyways, it's your choice. So make this 50%. Boom. Let's put a line here. Let's do that again. There, 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 and then here we can go symmetrical there. Then we can go put a line up here. We can put a line up there. Then here we can go symmetrical again. There. And just maybe there as well. And up here we can add in some more lines. Boom. Boom. Symmetrical. And there. There. And there. And there. And then that's not I think it is symmetrical in the middle here, so let's just Add those two in. Cool. So that's all the detailed lines. What we can do here is we can just sort of scale them in slightly. It doesn't have to look exactly like the final project. So I'll sort of just go off eyesight here. So here we can go ring selection. I should really start to learn shortcuts. My cousin actually was surprised that I don't use, he uses Blender. He was surprised that I don't use shortcuts. And he has a good point, because I use shortcuts in Premiere Pro, in After Effects, in Photoshop, and I actually don't use any shortcuts in Cinema 4D, which is strange, but anyways, so here we're going to go and change our view mode here to small. I think we'll also go to 80% gray. It's just slightly better to view that way. A lot less shading issues. And we can go scale this in. And then here we can go ring selection. And we can go and scale this in as well. Like so. And maybe if I turn off this X-ray, doesn't need to be on. Here we can go ring selection, scale this in, like so, and then that's most of the lid done. So the last piece, what we need to do is just go ring selection here, fill selection, and then just extrude it out here so that it's extruded here. So here we can go extrude like so. Then we can go add in some more supporting lines. But I think what we want to do, since the whole bottle is pretty much done, what we want to do actually is just separate the lid from the actual bottle, in case you wanted to go and make the bottle a specular or glass and actually see-through. I think we should do that. So I think what we'll do here is maybe go mesh commands split. Then from here we'll just delete this here. So let's just go and delete those faces here. Then we can solo this and take a look. Cool. That's weird. What happened here? Delete that. Cool. So what we can do now is just add some actual depth to the bottle here. In case you want to go make this glass. If you don't, then well, it's still good to do this just in case you change your mind. So I think that's probably, I don't know how thick this bottle would be. I don't actually have references of this right now. So this bottle might actually be a bit thick since it's so big. So maybe something like that. Let's go for 4, 3, 4. Something like that. Then we're going to go and add some lines here just so that the top part is sharp. So if I go smooth this out, we can take a look. That's what our bottle looks like now. Then the cap. Here we can go and just extrude it in. We might have some issues with the lines there, but we'll take a look now. Just extrude. This doesn't have to be so thick. Depends on what you're going to view it as and all that stuff, so it's all up to you. But we also want to go here, ring selection, fill selection, so we select all that. We just, what we want to do here, so if we go and smooth this out, we just want to go and extrude this a bit. So we're going to go and unsmooth these two, and we're just going to extrude it onto caps here, and then we're just going to extrude it out slightly. Like so. So now we can go and add in a line here and a line here, and then if we smooth it, we'll take a look, smooth these two. I can sort of see what's going on. If you want, you can go and close this hole if you want to. It's all up to you. I think what I'll do is maybe just add in some lines here. Take a look now. I think that's good enough. Like so. Let's just take a look at the cap one more time just to see everything's fine. Maybe here we'll go and add in a line down there. Let's take a look at the bottle one more time. There's dust on this mic and it's making my nose itch. Like so. Yeah, okay. So that's the bottle and the cap made. What we can do is rename these. So we're just going to go and save this project. We can delete that. We'll rename this to cap. We'll rename this to bottle. Now we have our bottle and our cap done. This piece here is just a cylinder, as you can see. 15 radius, 200 segments. Pretty simple to do, and then I just added some caps here, so we don't need to go and model that out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go and place our bottle where it's supposed to be. It's not actually centered in the scene. Here you can see the coordinates of the actual scene here. So if I go and copy this 0.555, so here you'll see that's where it's meant to be. Maybe I should just go and hide everything. It's just so it's easier for you. Let's hide this, and we can hide the glass. So this is what you should have, the bottle we just made, and then the cylinder you can just insert and adjust. And then you just need to go and change the coordinates like this, and then minus 0.555, I believe it was. Might not be, but who cares. And then because this is 1 centimeter in height, and I want the top part to be on the floor, I made the actual bottle minus 0.5 centimeters, just so that this thing's actually sitting on the floor here. So this is what it would be sitting like if we just inserted it. But we're just going to make it like that, so it's sitting on the floor. Then we can go and put our bottle here and our cap over there. So you might want to group this into bottle like so. And now this should be sitting fine here. So let's just take a look over there. It's not going through anything, which is good. Just position our bottle here, which will go into the composition and stuff soon. I guess we'll do the wine bottle next. I mean the wine glass next. So just gonna bring this in again, just to take a look. Whoops. Wine glass here. So here what we're gonna do is just solo this. Again, a cylinder, simple to do. So we'll insert a cylinder here. Let's go with 6 segments, and then let's just go and X-ray it. So you can bring down these radius here. We'll go with 6, 5. Now the original glass, I don't know why, but I went with an odd number of segments, and that really frustrated me in the end here. Is it an odd number of segments? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. In one of the projects, it was just wrong. That's strange that it's not showing like that now, but anyways. So I think we can actually go with 8 instead of 6. We'll just straight up copy it. I think that should be fine. And so what we'll do is we'll just make this height of 5. Make it editable and then optimize, and then we'll just go and center out this, make the axis at the bottom again, and then zero out the coordinates. So we can go and make this the top part of the glass here, which is like so. And we can just go and scale this in to there. We can add in a line over here and then scale this out. Probably should have added this line first and then scale the other part in, but it's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. No one's gonna go and measure your scenes to make sure your glass is 100% correct. So what we're gonna do here is just add in a few lines. This is a bit tricky, so we're just going to go and add in a few lines here, maybe there, and there. So here we're going to go and scale, we'll scale these two in, like so. Push them down. Once again, with this thing, I actually had references, a lot of references, and I took time to make sure that this wine glass looked right, so that I didn't have to so that I could use it across multiple projects and stuff like that, and But again, this stuff takes hours and I can't cram it all into one tutorial, and so I can show you how the modeling's done, but I'm not going to go through all the measurements and all that stuff again. So here, like that, we can just go and scale this down, like so. And this is actually strange. This is, oh, this should be, I don't know why that's like that. That should be there. And now we can just go and scale this in again. Maybe I scaled it the wrong way, like so. And again, the actual wine bottle, the wine glass isn't sitting on the floor. It's a bit up, which I didn't know, but I guess that's fine. What we'll do is we'll add in a line there, just a bit lower, just so it can sort of correct itself out. Then we'll add in a line here, here. And then what we'll do is we'll just scale these two in. Like so. Cool. So this we can go and push down to there. And this we can go and push up. Like so. Ooh. And we can scale that in. It's actually good that this isn't perfect, because real wine glasses aren't perfect. Real world objects aren't actually perfect. So if your glass is a bit off, not too off, but just slightly, it might actually look better. It might look more real. Let's just go and push that in, and then just go here, scale this in, push this down. Oops, push this down and scale this out. Down again, add in another line here, and then here we can just go and push this down as well. Scale that inwards and then up. So if we go and solo this, that's what our wine bottle should look like. It does look a bit strange, to be honest. Let's go and take a look at the original glass. No, looks a bit strange when it's not smoothed. But every bottle is different, so I'm not going to go and argue with that. Let's go, and every glass is different. Okay, my throat's getting sore. The bottom of this thing, I believe, is not actually flat. It has some slight variation here, so let's go and turn off this X-ray. Is there an X-ray on this thing? I think there is. Is there? Oh, wrong thing. Glass. There is an X-ray. So let's just turn off that X-ray. And then glass here, we can turn off that X-ray as well. Take a look. Okay, so here there needs to be a line there as well. So what we'll do is we'll push this middle point up. We'll take these outside lines here, push them up, just scale them out, push them down, push these up like so, and I think that's all. And then maybe I should just take everything and just slightly move it down, since I've made a correction here. So slightly move it down just so that it's sort of corrected there. Then what we can do is we can start adding some lines for sharper edges. So here you can see I have some 2 lines for sharper edges there. So I'll add one there. And where else are there sharp lines? Let's go take a look here what I did with the original thing. So just those 2 points. I'm sure there's one here. No, not. So everything else seems like it's smoothed except this top part here. So let's just go and take our glass here, and we'll get rid of the top faces, and then we'll smooth it out. So this is what our thing looks like. So if you change this to 3, that's what it looks like there. Now if you take a look at the other glass here, that's what it looks like there. So maybe here I'll go and just push these up a bit. So let's take another look. Okay, so this needs to go down, maybe down. Maybe up here. Take a look. Okay, so there needs to be more thickness here. So I think what I'll do here is maybe push everything up. So we'll go ring selection, ring selection, ring selection. And then here as well. Then maybe I'll go and just push everything up. Why is this blue? So I need to be careful here. I need to go and take this point here, push this down. I don't want these things to be intersecting and having some weird artifacts in the end. So just need to be careful. I want some actual thickness to this thing. So let's take another look over here. Let's smooth this and then we'll smooth the original. Cool. I can't spend time getting this perfect, but I think that's good enough. You can obviously go and look at your own references and adjust it to how your wine glass looks. But now what we'll do is we'll add some thickness to this thing. So we're going to go and go here, ring selection. Then what we'll do is we'll go and extrude it in like so. Now a lot of wine glass is actually pretty thin. So we'll just make it very thin here. So maybe go 0.4, 0.6 maybe. We'll take a look at our original here. It's actually thicker, I think. Slightly thicker, but it's fine. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Depends on the glass. And then what we'll do here is we'll just go and I think the best option here is to go extrude, zero this out. And then just go here, 0, enter, then go mesh commands, and we'll just change this optimize down to 001, boom, just so that our actual lines that we've added down there don't get merged together. So like that. Let's take a look. No, that still looks off. That's why. Our normals need to be corrected, so we'll go right click, reverse normals. Then we'll go and smooth this out again, optimize it. So now if you smooth it, it should be fine, which is not, which is strange. Let's take a look at our faces again. Let's make sure that these things, nothing weird going on here. Oh, I forgot to untick the caps here when I was extruding it. So you should be careful because in here we actually have faces going on the inside. So what we're gonna do is just gonna go delete those faces. So now if we go and optimize it again, the smoothing should be fine. Cool. So that's what we're getting with our smoothing. Let's just make sure all our faces are facing the right way in terms of the normals and stuff. So that's incorrect. So we'll go ring selection there, right click, reverse normals. Let's take another look. That's fine. Then we'll go and take a look at our bottle as well, just to make sure that those are all facing the right way. No, they're not. Reverse normals, cap. They're not. Reverse normals, then we'll go back to our glass here. So, the glass I had that I was using for reference, this top piece needs to be reversed. Glass I had that I was using for reference had this strange bump at the top. So what I did is I copied that. Here I just added a loop in the middle. I had a loop down there, added a loop down there. And then here what you can do is you can just go and maybe add one somewhere in the center there. So 50%. Then here you can go and scale this out just slightly. Scale this in slightly. And then here you can just go push this up. So like so. Take a look. Maybe you should add some more lines just for some support there. Like so. Like so. Take a look. And I can see we're getting that bump at the top. You can obviously adjust it and make it as, how can I say, you can emphasize it as much as you want. But yeah, that's for that. The liquid inside, I think we'll do that now as well. So we'll go and rename this to bottle. no, glass. I keep saying bottle. Glass or wine glass, in case you get confused with things. So I'll call this wine glass. Or you can call it cup. That's maybe more of a differentiating word. So for the liquid, I just go do that. Go mesh command split. Mesh command split. I really need to learn these shortcuts. I've been using them for years, and that could probably save me a lot of time. But we're just going to go and extrude it in slightly, just so that there's some space between the glass and the liquid. So here go 0.1, and then remove the caps, remember that. And then we're just going to go and remove these faces here, like that. So now we can maybe go and turn off the X-ray for the liquid. We'll call this wine, or just call this wine. We'll just call this glass. Then here what we'll do is go extrude 0, and then here we'll go 0, 0, enter, optimize it. Then we'll go and select these top faces. We'll select these, not select, we'll add some lines here, and maybe just push this down a bit. Like so. So now if I go smooth this out and smooth that out, sort of see what we're getting here. So now what we just need to do is just going to go and X-ray this. Now what we just need to do is take these lines here and then just do that like so. So it's not going to be perfect, but it's not going to be noticeable anyways, so it doesn't really matter. You can obviously go and adjust it however you want to, but something like that. Maybe if I go and change this to 3. Oh, 3, not 6. 3. Take another look. You can see it's not going through the glass. This is what we want. There is a bit of a gap there, so I might go and just maybe push this down. No, that's not what we want. We want maybe to push this one up. Actually, push this up. And then maybe scale this out. But you want to be careful for it to not go through the glass, otherwise you'll start ending up with issues in your render. But again, I'm not going to try and perfect this. This takes hours and hours to get right, so that's the liquid there. Maybe I'll go and push this top face down even more. Like so. Then what we're going to do is right click, reverse normals. Make sure that these normals are all facing the right way. So that's our wine bottle and our glass done. And I'm just going to take a quick break and then I'll see you on the next part. Alrighty, so I took a bit of a break there. We were doing our modeling of our actual wine here, I believe. So if I go back and actually look at the reference here, I'm just going to open this up again. Support wine. Let's look at our actual project and see what we still have to do. So we've done the wine, we've done the glass, we've done the bottle. The apple, I guess I can show you the basic modeling for that. And then we can get into the texturing. So just wondering which order I want to do everything in. So yeah, I think we'll just look at the apple. So the way I did the apple here is you'll see I have just another, I used a sphere and then I obviously just turned on the segments and just played around with the actual positions of the points and stuff. So here you can see this is just a sphere like so, and then the bottom piece is like that. So it's pretty simple. It's a sphere, like anyone knows how to just make a sphere and edit it. And then obviously I used a bunch of references to sort of just adjust the shape until it becomes more of an apple-ish shape, and then you smooth it out. then you'll get something like this, and that's the apple, like that. Then inside there I have the petal, not the petal, it should be called a stalk. Stalk. Petal is a flower petal, this is a stalk. And then the stalk in here is just a cube, and I've just extruded it, as you can see here, like that. Then here I can just take a closer look at the details, but this is just a cube that I've extruded, added some lines, and then when you smooth it, you'll get something like this. Then over here on these edges, what I did is I added, I used the subdivision weight tool to sort of just harden out these edges slightly. So here you'll see here I've just hardened this line, these edges here, and then also some of the edges in the inside here as well. So yeah, so if I delete that, you'll see what it looks like without it, and then that's with it. So that's pretty much that. And then you end up with an apple like this. So I guess we can start off with the texturing. We'll start off with the texturing now, and I guess I'll do the apple since that's probably the the part that everyone will struggle with in terms of texturing. So I think I'll start off with that. And then there's the leaf as well. So if I go here and unsort everything, the leaf, what I did is I just took a plane, turn down the subdivisions like so, maybe go to, how do we want to do this? Let's go 4. This is just an example, and then you'll take something like this, then maybe we should scale this down to like that, and then you just adjust these points and play around with it until it's more of a leafish shape. So here's a quick example. And then once it's smoothed out, maybe you'll put these closer together. Then once it's smoothed out, then you'll get something like this. And that's pretty much what this leaf shape looks like over here. Like that. But then inside the leaf here, I also have a twist and bend deformer. Just twisting it a bit, which is actually twisting it outwards. And then bending it like that. And then that side of the leaf. Also notice here, I also have an extruding part out of the stalk, which is connecting to the leaf here. So here I just extruded this face out and then connected it to the leaf like so. So the leaf's not actually connected, it's just going into the stalk like that. And that's all the modeling side of it. Now the texturing is the tricky part. So what I did is I took the apple, I decided where I want my scene to be for the UV mapping, and I decided I wanted it to be here. And then what I did is I went into the UV edit here. Now this took a while, these things take a long time to get right, so obviously I can't do it all in tutorial. I can show you how I did it, but I can't redo it for you. So here I went into the UV edit here, and then what you want to do is create a new, there's lots of tutorials on UV mapping, but basically you just want to take this preview should be showing, which it's not. I think some of these textures are missing here, so let me just go and see if they are. Yeah, so let me just refine these quickly. So go 6K. Once again, all the textures I use are from polygon.com, so you can find them there. They should honestly sponsor me, because I mention this in every single video. I should be getting paid. So wood fine 01 color, you can go with a 3K version here. And then we can just insert the normal as well. Cool, so now if we go, now we've got our textures back. We can go render these out again and just get some previews on our actual textures here. There we go. So inside our UV edit here, here you'll see if we go and turn this on, there's lots of UV mapping tutorials. This is not a UV mapping tutorial, unfortunately, so I can't take you through the whole process of UV mapping, but here's the basic gist of it. So firstly, you want to actually select the right object. So my bad. You want to select your apple. There we go. Then what you want to do is you want to just take your actual apple. You also must make sure that you have your seam selected there. So you just take your apple like so. Then you want to do, what you want to do is here you can see we have our texture. So here I've already gone and UV mapped it and stuff correctly. So I'm not going to save this file after I do this, but you want to select all your faces with your seam selected as well. And then here you want to go into projection, go frontal, and then go relax UV. And then here I'm using ABF, the ABF system. And then you just want to go scale it out and make sure it matches your apple as much as possible. If you're not going for any close-ups, you won't really notice the seam there. I'm still learning UV mapping myself. I'm not an expert in this, so there's a lot I still need to learn. But yeah, you just want to go and match it up, and then you'll have your UVs sorted. So let me just undo that. Cool. Like so. So then I feel like these normals are the wrong way around. Let me just go and check. No, it's because I was in UV edit. So once you have your UV sorted, you'll probably just have your actual diffuse in there. So you'll end up with, and I think I'll do a tutorial on making an apple and a tutorial on making an orange and grapes and other fruits on their own. So don't have to worry too much about that. I think I'll do separate tutorials on those, but then you'll end up with something like this. But yeah, so you'll have that UV mapped, and you can see the seams here. I haven't gotten this perfect because I'm still learning UV mapping myself, but here you can see there's some seams there. But when you're far away, you can't really see it. And also when you add in your normal map, then it starts to get even blurred even more, and then your roughness map, and then yeah, but from far away you can't really see it, and also some angles you can't really see it that well, and depends on if you have depth of field and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's how I did the apple part. And then so the texturing of that's simple. You just UV map it and then put in the right channels. And then the stalk here, I just used some wood, a wood texture, and then I just did the wood texture with the normal map of that wood texture, and I just cranked it up to 20. So if we actually take a closer look here, you can see it's just the wood texture. And then I put that, and I put a diffuse material with the same wood's normal map in there. And then inside that, you'll see, go and open this up here. Let's just reorder this, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. So this should be there, like so. Like so. Dun, 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 dun. So here I have the wood texture with the diffuse and the normal, and then here I just have the same wood texture. And then here I have a diffuse material with the normal, and then those two go inside of a mixed material here. And then I just use the dirt nodes to sort of get the edges over there darker, and then also here it's a bit darker, and then down here as well it's a bit darker. So if maybe move this down here, down there it gets darker as well, using the dirt. And then I also put those inside another mixed material, and then I use a noise map to get these like here you'll see there's patches of darkness, and that's just to add some variance. I still need to work on this actual object and texture here, but that's just to add some variance on it, and that's pretty much it. Then the leaf, I also did UV mapping with that. I have a tutorial on how to make plants and how to make grass inside of Cinema 4D and Octane. I'll link those in the description, so if you want to know how to make this leaf, it's pretty much that, and then you just place it here. I've already made a tutorial on this leaf on its own, so you can go and find that there. I feel like this leaf should be swapped around, but yeah. So that's how I did the apple. I'll do a separate tutorial on an apple, orange, and other fruit like that, since there aren't any out there. There's only one tutorial on an apple, I think, and then there aren't any other fruit tutorials to do with Octane on YouTube, so I'll make separate tutorials for those. So that's the apple. And then what we have left is the Cork over there, and then the studio. So the studio, I can just go and here you'll see, boom, the floor. Here you'll see the floor is just a plane with a bend deformer inside it. It's quite simple. And the Cork here as well. This is fairly simple, don't need to remake this. This is just a cylinder, as you can see, with some subdivisions and stuff, and then when it's smoothed, you'll get something that looks something like a cork. So that's pretty simple to do as well. Okay, so that's pretty much all the modeling done. Since I showed you how I modeled the apple very quickly, I can just bring that apple back in. I don't need to go and redo all the UV mapping on that. So I'm just gonna go re-import that. Then I'll delete the old apple here. So where's this thing? Delete that, and delete that. So texturing of the apple, I've already explained. And then we can start off with the rest of the texturing of the scene here. So if we bring this live viewer up here, let me just let this load in, and then I'll just change this black bars here. So just go and remove that. What I'll do is I'll turn up these bars and then just remove the render save. Cool. So our scene's dark, which means we need lighting. So I'll insert an HDRI here, like so. Just bring in one of my HDRIs like so. And then what I'll do is I'll just position this glass and then the wine as well. So this should be renamed to, what's this? So this is wine. I wonder why are there two different glasses here? So I'll take the, wait, which one's the old one, which one's the new one? I think I'll know by looking it up here. So yeah, this is the older one. I know the new one's thinner, so we'll go and delete the older one, and this is the new one. Yeah, so here we'll take our glass here, and we'll take our wine, we'll just position it around there, and we'll bring up our live viewer again. So we have our models done, and we can start with the texturing process now. But first we want to make sure our render settings are right, just so it doesn't interfere with our texturing. So we'll go path tracing, 2048 is fine. We'll bring that ray epsilon down since we're working to real world scale here. And then we'll also turn our parallel samples up to 16, turn on adaptive sampling. And then here we'll just go 2.2 gamma. And linear, and then turn off vignetting, natural. Then we'll bring in a camera here. Depending on what your composition is, where it's going and stuff. I was going for a 1350, well 1080 by 1350 for Instagram. So I'll sort of just set up a camera position maybe in the center there. And then I think we'll go for maybe a tele lens and then just zoom out. Maybe I'll go portrait. I went for a tele lens in my Instagram one, just so it just worked the best for composition, but I think we'll just go with this for now. Then what we'll do is we'll just go for an 8 f-stop and then just make sure our focus is centered here. And I think that's all we should do for now. We'll enable processing as well. And I think we're sorted for now. Okay, so we can start with the texturing of everything now. So we'll start off with the simple stuff, and then we'll just layer everything on as we go along here. So for this wine here, we'll just go, maybe I should start grouping things so it's easier. So here I'll go and group this wine here to glass. And then this can be our board, or whatever you want to call it. Put that at the bottom. Don't need that. And then that's our floor. Our cork can be up there. There's our apple. And just sit a bit better there. Cool. So we can go solo our glass here. And then we'll go and bring in a specular material. Like so. We'll apply it. And then here we'll go for, here we'll call this glass. Turn on fake shadows. We'll go index 1.52. And then here for our wine, we'll create another specular material like so, apply it there. And let's see what the actual refractive index I believe it's 1.333 or something like that. Refractive index wine. Let me just, I can pick something, it doesn't have to be perfect. Refractive index of wine. I know I googled this last time and it just gave me the result. Refractive index of wine, red wine. No. Let's go look. So here, so we'll go for 1.333. Oh, I'll need to blur that. Let's go for 1.333. So this should be 1.333. And how do you want to do the wine is the question. Can you see here, if we look down there, there's something weird going on there, which I don't like. But I'm wondering if that will actually be an issue in the final render. But if you look over here, you can see that doesn't look right and I don't like it. Just take a look here, make sure all normals are right. Yeah, I think it'll be fine if we're looking at the right angle. So for the wine, I think we'll just go, I'll rename this to wine. I'll use my reference and stuff to correct this later, but we'll just go with some scattering at the moment. And then here we'll go RGB spectrum. And here we'll just go with a red. Like so, and then we can just turn this up to maybe 300. Even, well, let's take a look at our whole scene and then adjust it. So let's bring everything in. I think that's okay for now. Something still feels off with the lighting. I think what we'll do is bring in a reflector and a speed light. So we'll just bring in a light here. Just turn off our cone on our camera here, and we'll call it camera. Cool. So bring in a light here, and we'll just put this inside of a null, and then our light will maybe just zoom this down. So let's take a look at our actual project here. See what the actual settings I used was 50 by 100. So here we'll just go and change this to 50 by 100. Just bring it up like so. And I think I'll rotate it. No? Why is this null sitting there? This null should be in the center of the scene. Sorry. And let's take a look at our render here and see how it's affecting our scene. So we should be getting some light, a lot brighter light going in here, which will be good. Like so. That's too harsh, so I'll turn this power down to 10. Maybe I'll go 6,000 here. And then I'll also turn on this highlight compensation there. So now we have some light going in there. And obviously we can make adjustments and stuff once our textures and stuff are in. But what I'll do is I'll bring in a reflector here. So I'll maybe go, I think I'll go and duplicate this. I'll rotate this light around 180 degrees, and I'll just put this plane under here and then just zero out the coordinates here. So like so. And maybe go that. And then I can just copy the settings, maybe 100 by 100. So he'll go 100, copy, paste, turn off the segments here, and delete that light. So now if we open up our live view here and sort of see what's happening, we can go and add a glossy material on that, and then turn up the roughness like that. And I think this might be facing the wrong way. Take a look. Oh, it's the same thing. But that's our reflector. It's basically just bouncing light back in the scene. It's photography tricks. You can still copy them when it comes to renders. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and copy this HDRI. The bottom one I'll change to visible. And then the top one, so the top one will be our light, and but the reflections will stay. So the actual settings for my original project here is I rotated it slightly. Here I went 90 and minus 60. So, and here I also doubled this. What's this? Is this the primary? And that's the visible. That's interesting. Okay, so here I'm going to double the exposure of our HDRI. So maybe we'll call this primary HDRI. HDRI. I can't actually see my keyboard. This mic is so big, I can barely see the screen. And this would be called visible HDRI. So I'm going to double the exposure, just basically doubling the power of the HDRI, which is the primary one, just to make it a bit brighter. And then I think I'll rotate this. Let's go 90 degrees, like so. Let me just take another look here, 90 degrees. I also need to be careful of which way the camera's sitting here. So I'm just going to go and import this here, just so I can make sure that my referencing stuff is correct. So cool, so like that. And then this was minus 60, I think. Minus 60. Cool. So then our visible HDRI, all we need to do is just tick a few things. So here, this should be primary and this should be visible. There we go. So here I'm just going to go and click reflections, refractions, and then I'll just go on minus 60 here. Like so. Now it is very, very bright right now. Maybe it's this light. No, so it's actual HDRI, which is good though. Let's just take the settings over here. Okay. Okay, so it should be that bright. So when our textures and stuff are added in, you'll start to see it start to balance out. So what we'll do is we'll just disable this light for now, and then we can start with texturing the simple stuff. So we'll start off with this plate here. Whatever you want to call it. I should call this reflector. This is texture, I forgot. Reflector. And just rename that, and then call this speed light. These are like photography studio tricks, which I've sort of just adapted to 3D. I haven't really learned this off anyone in particular, so if this is wrong, you can obviously correct me if you want. I've just sort of made the stuff up. I'll call this the board. And here I went for some marble, a marble texture. So let's go and insert this here. Where is this thing? Stone. No. Why do I feel like I have a marble folder? I don't. Come on, tiles. There we go. So I'm still working on getting these previews down, but here we have a marble texture, and you can actually leave it like that since you're seeing it from this angle, so it doesn't really matter. I think we'll leave it like this. I'll just go and copy this. It's kind of cool actually. I'll go and paste in our normal section here. Just bring in our normal. Paste in not the specular, but I'll do the roughness. I want it to be reflective. So here we'll do the glossy. And let's just take another look here from this angle. I think that looks okay. I think what I'll do is I'll add some, I don't want to do this now or later. I think I'll do the scratches and stuff later. So that's that done. We'll do the cork next, which is at the back here, like so. So what I'll do here is I'll just create a new glossy material called this cork. I'll go and apply it, and then I'll just bring in a new image texture. And here I actually have a cork texture here, so let's go cork, like so. Here I'll change the projection to box. I'll go into UV transform and then just go 0.5, 0.1, 0.05, 2, like that, and copy, paste in our normal map here, paste in our roughness. Or glossy. And then what I'll do is I'll just go into our bump map here, create an image texture, and then here we can go for some surface imperfections. Where's this thing? Scratches mixed 6. Let's go for that. So we'll change our projection here to box. Then our UV transform will just go maybe 0.5. 0.1. Something feels off here. Let's reduce the power down to 0.5 here, and then maybe increase this, and then maybe I'll go 0.1, 0.1, like that. Okay, so now we're getting a bit better there. Let's go 0.5, 0.1, not too much, 0.3, 0.4. This will be in the background and it'll be blurred, so it doesn't really matter that much, but in the original scene I did go for I did put in all the detail even though it was in the background. I wanted maximum detail, so that's that done. Then what we'll do is we'll create our first dirt material. I think we'll call this dirt 1. And here I'm going for wine, a very wine-ish look. So this will be all our dirt that we'll be using if you want to add a wine sort of stain. I'm actually not sure. I guess that's okay for a dirt. So that's our first dirt. We'll bring in a mixed material. We'll put our cork at the bottom and our dirt one at the top. We'll just replace that. And then here what we can do is we can go to our dirt node here and invert the normal. No, let's not do that. Let's do maybe this is too much. Let's see. Let's do that then. I don't like this. I don't like the way this looks. Something wrong here. Oops. I think what I'll do. Let's go, and we'll go and create a gradient and then invert here, and then take another look. I'll see if there we go. So that's what I was looking for. Cool, so that's what I wanted. I want this feel that the wine's actually affecting the top and the bottom, since that's where the cork would be. So maybe if I turn this up, and then here I can just sort of adjust this. So what's affecting what here? So this we want to maybe go up to 50%. Let's drop it down to 30. If you take a look, what we can actually do as well, no, let's not do that. Take a look from far, you can sort of see the look I'm going for. Obviously I spent days on this project getting it to look perfect, so you can do that if you want to go and do that, but I can't do that in this tutorial. That's the overall concept for that. We can do our bottle next. So yeah, so we've done quite a bit so far. We can start with the bottle now. Let's do the floor actually. So the floor, what I did is let's go to our floor here. We'll create a new material, call this floor. What we'll do first is we'll just go and create a gradient. No, clear a gradient like so. And then what we'll do is maybe change this to UVV. Is this applied to the floor or not? There we go, sorry. So UVU, and let's see, let's move this to there. Because I want this background here to be white, but I want the floor to still have that marble reflector look. You'll notice in the render, it actually has a marble floor if you take a close look. So this is what I'm going for here. So
Now we'll go copy this. We'll create a mix material. We'll put our board at the bottom, and we'll put our floor at the top, and then we'll just paste this here. So now we can go and remove that. And now if you take a look here, maybe let's go and replace this. Sorry, there we go. So there's our board. If you want, you can go and let's go and invert this. So make this white, make this black. Let's take a look in our view here, see if it's good enough. Guess that's all right. If you want, you can go and create another floor material. I'll call this floor marble. Then I think what we'll do is here is just go projection box, and then just maybe make this smaller. So here we'll go 0.25. And then just replace that, sorry. So like that. So bring this back up. Let's go 0.5. Let's take a look in our view. I think that's fine now. So here we can just go and copy this and replace our normal map here, like so. And then our glossy, our roughness here, we can go and replace that as well, like so. The bottle, let's start with. What I actually forgot with the bottle is the graphic, so we can start cranking up some subdivisions now. We'll turn this up to 3, and the cap we can also turn up to, no, the cap doesn't actually need that. So the bottle, what we'll do, I think we're fine. We'll keep a save of it, but I think we're fine with everything. We're not going to change anything else, so I think that's okay. What we're going to do here is we're just going to go and keep a save of this thing, and we'll just go and bring it all into one object. Then what we'll do is we'll go here, select ring selection. I think I'll just use my actual reference here again, just so I don't have to go and calculate this again for no reason. Bring in our graphic and just get an idea of how tall this thing would be, like so. So we'll go and select this row here down to this row, delete the graphic again, and then we'll just go select, fill selection, and mesh command split, like so, and then we can just select this and then just scale it out slightly. Why is this thing selected? Why is it giving me these points here? That snapping was on, that's why. So we'll just go and scale this, or we could just scale it this way if you want to be safer. So here we'll go 0.01, 0.01. So it's just slightly off, and you can even go and readjust this to maybe 0.002, like that, 3, something like that. Cool. And then, so now we call this graphic, and then this is our bottle. Call this bottle save. All right, so let's take a look here. Throat's getting sore again. So, sorry, it has to load in all these extra textures I just added in. Should probably just go to remove the unused ones since we don't need them. So we'll create a new glossy material, call this bottle. You can do this as a specular material if you want, but it's a bit more tricky. Just gonna go and apply this. We'll make the diffuse black, and the index should be 1.52, but I guess it's fine if it's 1.3 as well. What we'll do, it all depends on how you want your bottle to look. Let me just actually look at the references here. Renders, the raw file, this one. Okay, so that's what we're going for. It's a bit tricky. I'm not gonna go, don't think I'll go in that in depth as I did in that one, because that one's, ooh, that will take a while. But I think we can start off with some basic ideas. So what we'll start off with is add some fingerprints here. Surface imperfections, fingerprints 6. No, let's go with fingerprints. I really need to fix these previews so that I can actually see what textures do what. There we go, let's go with that one. And we'll go projection, box. We'll turn up the power to 25. And then we'll just go and turn this down to 0.2, 0.1. So like that. And I think what I want to do is actually take this version here. And then we can sort of try and get this to look right. So that's what I'm looking for. I want it to look like the fingerprints are actually greasy. So maybe if I go and move this slightly. Let's take another peek here. Maybe if I go and make this one. So now you can slightly see the fingerprints there. We'll go and add in a bump map as well. So image texture. Let's go with this one. We'll change our projection to box. Turn our scale down to 0.1. And then turn our power down to 0.01. Turn our power down even more, 0. Like that. And now if we take a close look here, you can sort of see the bumps. That's what we want. We want it to be very, very small. Very, very subtle. And what we can do is bring up our node editor and maybe bring in another image texture here. You can just copy those and then put those in. 0 these out. And then here we'll go with some dirt wipes here, so something like that. Still, how do I want to do this? Let's go the other method again. We'll just take the inverted version here, and then maybe just reduce this gamma, turn on this power. Then how blending these together is a bit tricky. I might have to try this multiple times before I get the right one, so we're going to try this quickly. So we're going to go and add them together and reduce this power down. Something like that. It's very, very subtle, as you can see, but it's working. And what else do we want to do with that? Obviously, this is all creative choices. You can do this however you want. I did spend quite a long time getting that right, but we're going to create a new material, create another dirt material, and we'll call this dirt 2. So this will be our dust dirt material. I'll just put that there maybe. I'll just put it there. And we'll put our dirt there and our bottle at the bottom and just replace that. Then we'll go C4D, image texture, and then we'll go bring in a dirt map here. Change our projection to box. Change our UV transform down and just turn on that scale. Turn on the power, 0.01. There we go. So the scratches I think are fine. I might want to add another scratch layer. This is all about layering. So the more you layer, the more realistic it will look, but also the more adjusting and work you have to do. And I also did some gradients and a lot more detail in the original project, which I think will just take hours to do if I did that in the tutorial. So, but that's the general idea of it. This graphic here, I went and made that inside of Photoshop. I don't think I'm going to remake the whole graphic. I'll show you what it looks like though. So let me go create. Remaking the whole graphic is just a lot of typing and stuff like that, which I think is a waste of time. So here we'll go and create a new glossy material, call this graphic. And we'll just go image texture. And then just go in here, support, line studio, Apple, no, assets, and then graphic of the apple here. Like so, and that's actually incorrect. So I think what I'll do here is let me just make sure all the points and stuff are fine. What I did here is I went right click, cubic first, and then right click, fit object. Or did I go cylinder, cylindrical? Right click, fit object. There we go, so it's facing the wrong way around. So, where is this actual thing facing? So, let's rotate this bottle 180 degrees, like so. Cool. So we'll take a look inside our Photoshop file here. Then I'll show you what's inside of it. I can't go and type this all out and slowly adjust all the positions and stuff. That'll just take too long. But I can show you the basic makeup of it. So I just took Sepults because they had some good references online. And then I sort of just used a random logo. I think this is like a United Kingdom logo of some sort. And then sort of try to copy their graphic, but it's not exactly the same. And I've also adjusted text and colors and stuff like that. So here, if we take a look in here, you'll see, I'm just going to turn all this off. You'll see that we have just a composition, or a, what are these called, documents. The width is 6,396 by 2048. So it's that's the size of the texture. Then I have a rectangle going across the side here. Then I have two rectangles at the top, two rectangles at the bottom. And then Royal Coat of Arms is what it's called. And then here I just have this logo. I just stole off the internet. I actually don't know what it's about. It's probably important, which is bad that I don't know what it is. I took it and then I masked this thing out here. So you can see here that I went and masked out all the a certain color. I forgot what it's called. Certain color range I masked out, and then I got this thing. So now it's a transparent logo in certain areas, which is good. And then I went and color overlaid a hue to make it dark, to make it a certain color there. So here you can see that's it inverted, which is very useful. And then here we have our Sepult text, which is using the font Times New Roman, Pinot 2013, and Zilinga Apple. This font here I got as well, which is called Mild East. And then boom, more text, founded. And this text here is called, this font here is called Abigat. And then that's pretty much the whole build up of the scene. You save it and then you can import it into Octane. So that's pretty much it for the graphic. Obviously I can't remake it because that took me a while to sort of adjust all the stuff. So, but we can start texturing the graphic now. So here we will go and create a normal map here. We'll go image texture, and here I'll just go into man-made textures, work, polygon, where is this thing? Man-made. And I'll use paper plane over here. I'll just change the projection to box, and then I'll scale this down by a lot, maybe 0.1. Take a look. That might be enough. Just take a close look here. Maybe I'll just change this out quickly to this one. And now I can scale this maybe down to 0.075. Cool, so now we have this papery texture on it. We can go and put in our roughness. And we can also put that in our specular as well. I probably shouldn't do the specular, but it's fine. Let's delete that. And then here we'll go and add some scratches. So we can go and copy this here. You can copy this bump map here and paste it in our graphic and then just adjust it. So take another look here. Just turn this up 0.1. Like so. So here we'll go 0.05. Then I think I'll also change it to Do I want to change it though is the question. I don't. I'll keep it there and then I'll just go 0.05 here and there. Okay, and then I'll copy this and I'll go and paste it in the opacity here. And let's just go 1. Let's play with this here. Let's go like that. Let's see, let's just turn this down even more. Something like that, and I think I'll maybe even go and I guess that's fine. It's alright. And then what we'll do is we will go and create a diffuse, mixed material, and we'll create, how do we want to do this? I think we'll just go and put our graphic underneath and then our dirt 1 at top. Here we'll go image texture. We will go and bring in some fingerprints here. Fingerprint 7. Like so. Turn up this power to 25 and then go make box. We'll just replace this here. And this should be, sorry, dirt. No. Why is this not? I put the graphic at the bottom. Oh, maybe it's the scale. So change that to box. Maybe if I should scale this up, or maybe it's down 0.01. Yeah. So you'll go 0.1 and turn this power down to 1. Guess that's okay. You can obviously adjust these settings and stuff however you want. Then what I'll do is I'll duplicate this, go add, like so, and then here I'll go and layer on some dirt wipes, like that. Here we'll go 0.2. And maybe here for the fingerprints I'll maybe turn this down to 0.75. Like so. So if we take a look from far, you get the idea. You can obviously adjust everything as however you want. And let's bring everything in and sort of see what our scene looks like. So that's the general idea. I'm getting quite close here. This floor background here is a bit bright. If I go and change this to a diffuse material and then just turn down this brightness to maybe 80. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And then this speed light here, let's turn this on. And I think I'll rotate it over there just so it's facing like there. On that end. Then our reflector over there should maybe rotate. Whoops, sorry. Our reflector should rotate to there. Maybe just go 50 for our width. That. So this should actually rotate maybe like there, just off camera, or you could just, yeah, I guess that's okay. And so let's do a store render buffer and turn off our reflector, and you can see what the reflector is doing. So with the reflector off, you can see there isn't that much light being bounced in the scene here on this side, and also the reflection here is different. So the reflector is doing. Composition's a bit different here, so lighting and everything isn't as good as it was for Instagram version, but obviously you can go and adjust it however you want to do that. I'll explain one extra trick here that I used for this graphic before we move on. Let's go change this. So I did a lot of layering in my original project, so it's a bit different here, but I'll sort of explain this. So what I did is I took the graphic here. Let's bring up Photoshop again. I took the graphic of the logo and I created created a new project, and I called it the graphic Specular. So here's the same project, except it's just this logo here in black and white. And then I use that here. So what I can do is I can create a new glossy material, and I'll call this gold. Can make it a nice goldish color, so like that. Turn the index up, and then just make this black. So now we have a gold look, and we can go create a new mixed material, put the gold on top, put our mixed material at the bottom, replace this, and then here we can go image texture. We can actually just go and copy this graphic since it's the same dimensions and everything, paste it here, and then here we'll just use our specular instead. So specular, which is our specular graphic that we just made, which is this one, and this is basically just masking out actually, yeah, it's fine if you see this is not NDA, so I'm not going to go and blur that out, it's a waste of time. So here you can see it's just masking out everything, and it gives that very nice look on your actual final thing. So you can actually go and take that as well, and you can go and where is this thing? See, this is where things starts to get messy, and this is what I'm worried about in this tutorial. I don't want to, this is really advanced stuff, and I mean, I don't want to go too far because I know most of the community is beginners, and if I go, I'm already going further than I should be right now. If I go too far, then I get in trouble because people start complaining I'm going too fast and all that nonsense. So here you can see we have, this is our specular over here. We can go and drive that inside our bump map here. So where's our bump section? Bump. This is our bump map over here. We can go and add in a add over here like that. Boom. Plug that into our bump, and then you'll see a difference. So let me just go and let this render a bit. Right click, store render buffer, and then if I go and plug this in over there and add this on top, you can see there's bumps now. So here you can see how the bumps start to affect the whole image, and that's really, really cool. The actual logo sort of extrudes out the object and gives it a really, really nice effect, which is a cool trick to do. If you want to go and do this, make this, just remove everything out the project, make the background black, and then you just go and add in a hue color grade over it, color overlay over it, and then you'll get that black and white map. And then I also went and made my own custom bump map as well over here, which is just the same concept except it's a bit different. But yeah, so that's a cool effect you can do. And yeah, so all we really need to do now is the top of the cap, and the rest is just minor adjustments and stuff when it comes to the final thing, which is all up to you really. So this thing here, we can go create a new glossy material, apply it. We can go solo it as well. Call this gold cap, gold cap, index of 8. Here I'm gonna go and maybe bring in a image texture. So here I'll go into polygon, metal, gold, just so I get more of a realistic value instead of just randomly making it myself. Something like that. Make the diffuse black. And then for the roughness, I used some some noise maps to drive this here. So projection, box, UV map. Here we can turn up our contrast, and then we can turn on the size, something like so. I guess we'll start off with the turbulence first. So we'll turn up our omega there, well, and we'll just mess with this gamma here till we get something like that. Maybe turn on this contrast, like so. Just adjust that. Turn up those octaves. Let's play with this here again. Something like that. So you get the idea. We make something kind of like this, which is pretty much what I did. Maybe turn up this contrast a bit.
and you can just play around with that and get that right. Then I added some text here around here, and I did the same concept with the graphics, so you can go and redo that yourself. And then I also added a normal map here, which you get some bumps here, which I also did the same concept as the graphics. So if I go and take a look at this actual original project here, and then I just bring in this cap here, like so, you'll take a look. This stuff takes hours to do, so I can't go and remake all of this in a tutorial. So let's just bring this in. So maybe if I go and, when this loads in, I'll show you how many textures I have in this project. And that's the amount of layering I've been going through. So it's even taking a while to load in. So here you can see I do have quite a bunch of textures. At least each object probably has around 3-4 layers. So if I go take a look here, you can see I've done a normal map for this with a displacement map with it. And then I've also gone and added some text, which is the same Photoshop concept. And you can see I've also gone and layered 2 different noise maps on top of each other in the roughness channel, and then you get this sort of effect. So it's all up to you to go how detailed you want with that. And then I think all we need to do here is just go and add in a bump map, some slight scratches, and you'll sort of see the final effect that I'm going for. So I actually shouldn't have extruded this cap. I should have left it flat, because then it would look like it's maybe a piece of paper that's going on top of the bottle. The bottle should actually be going further up, but it's all up to you. So here we'll go and add in a bump map, image texture, surface imperfections. Here we'll go with this one. When this is done, I'm going to go and make sure I get some previews going for these files so I can actually see what's in them before I open them. And same concept, 0.1, 0.1, 0.01, 0.003, 4, 2, like that. Copy, paste that in opacity just so it looks like some of it's actually getting scratched off. Maybe turn this power up to 1. We can even just displace this a bit. And then you can sort of see what we're going for. So now if I go and bring everything in, boom, that's very close to what the final project looks like here. So if I go and bring in one of the raw renders here, which is basically just unedited file, you can see it's very, very close. Yeah, I just duplicated the apple, but it's very, very close. Ooh, there's a subtle 2 subtle details I forgot. Yeah, so some extra details that I added into the project. If you want to go as far as I did, I might as well go and do that here. So, I'm starting to remember things now. I did a lot of details. So here what I'm going to do firstly, I think I'll start speeding through these before I forget them. So we'll just go copy this bump map here from our glass, and then we'll just paste it here. Select board, paste. And now we need some bumps going on here, so let's take a close look here. Let's turn this power up to 0.1. That's too much. 0.001, 0.005, 0.002, 0.003. I guess that's fine. And next is this glass here. Did some really cool things in here. So you'll notice if you take a very close look at wine bottles, and I was really studying the details of the stuff. So you'll take a look, if you take a close look, there'll be these like little bubbles inside your actual glass here. So what I did is I want to create, oh, I'm talking too fast. What I did is I went and created some spheres, and like that. Where's this thing? Bring it up, and then I just turn on the segments to maybe 0.4, and then here I can go 0.2 for the size, 0.1, and where's this glass here? I can take the glass, I can put that in a null, and then I can just put the sphere in there. So now you can see it's getting smoothed, and now you can see we have a bubble in there, but the normals are the wrong way around. So we need to go and make it editable, and then just go right click, reverse the normal, and now the normals are facing the right way. And then you can sort of just duplicate these and sort of place them around your glass. Take a look at actual real world references and you can get an idea of the sizing and stuff like that. And then notice that there's actually these very, very small bubbles in them, and I really went through the efforts of doing that. I was going to add some bubbles going around the sides here as well of the wine, but that was a bit difficult and I didn't want to overstress myself, so I didn't go to the lengths of doing that. So what I did with the wine in my original project as well is I made something like this, and then I made a darker version of the wine, and I used a fall off map to make the darker edges of the wine dark and then the middle parts lighter. You can go do that if you want to go to that extent, but I'm not going to do that here. What I'm going to try and do, this might not work, but I'm going to try and do it in this tutorial, and if it doesn't work, then that sucks. But I'm going to try and add some bubbles going around the rim here. You'll see there's a rim here. And if you go and take a close look at this project over here, so maybe go and bring in this wine and the glass. It's another very, very subtle effect that I added in, which you probably can't even see in the final renders, but you'll see that there's some actual drops going around the sides here. Just let this load in quickly. How's your day going? Okay, so here you can see we have some drops going on around the sides, and then it sort of fades off as it goes to the top there, and it worked really, really well for my composition and all that stuff. From far away, you can't really see it, and you can actually see with the wine. What I also did is on the edges here, I made them go less and less colorful and more into a whitish color. So I really, really studied the details when I came to this render here. And you can go to the extent here of making all these details if you want. I can't do that in this tutorial. It's going to be way too long. I think this tutorial is already super long already. But how I did that is I just used a dirt map to make the edges dark and then the rest of it white. And I just put a specular material there without any color. And then the rest of it, I just use the wine texture. And then that's how you get the edges of them to sort of go into a whitish non-color mode. But this here, to get these drops on, I'm going to try and do it. It was a bit tricky to do, so I might not be able to pull it off right now. It does take some time to get right, but I'm going to try and do it anyways. If it doesn't work, then I can't do that. I'm sorry, but I'm going to attempt it quickly. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a material here. I think we'll just start off with the diffuse, so things are pretty simple to look at. We'll just go diffuse. We'll solo the glass as well. We'll change this to, is diffuse. So we'll go with the gradient. And what we also want to do is we want to go to our glass here. Where's this thing? Glass. We want to go ring selection here. Where do we want? You need to ask where you want your actual droplets to be. Maybe you want them to be around here. Or maybe there. So I think we'll actually go and select them all and then just delete the rest soon. So what do we want? No, let's not do that. So here we'll go mesh commands. No, let's go set selection. And we can just go bring these down here. Boom, boom, boom. Like so. So now we can go take a look. And we can sort of get this gradient to look right on the inside of the glass here. So we're focusing on the inside. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go and adjust this. Just this here. And you can see our gradient's already starting to act wrong, which is what I was worried about. And it did take me a bit of time to get this to look right. So it might not work for you. How can we do this is the question. What if I don't think this is going to work. No. But what you want to do is you want to try and create a gradient that goes something like this on the outside. So let's pretend this is inside the bottle. You want something to look like let's make this black, make this white, make this black.
something to look like that, and then this inside white part is where your drops will be. And then you can just go create a mixed material. You can go and apply it like that. And you can go and make sure that this is actually in the selection tag here. The mixed material, you can take your texture, or let's go with the gold, and then we'll go with the actual glass, just so you can sort of see what I'm talking about. So let's pretend that the gold is the one with the drops on it, and then you can just go and take this and then paste it there. Like so. And then you'll sort of kind of get the idea of what I'm going for. And then when you're looking at it from here, you'll see that you actually have some drops there and stuff, etc. It's a bit advanced, takes some time to do, but that's the general idea. So take another look, and I think this is pretty much done. Well, not done, there's a lot that needs to be done, but that's the overall concept. You can go and take these ideas and spend a few days to get all the details and stuff down. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed the valuable content I'm just throwing out there for free, give it a like, subscribe. If you want to download this project and you don't want to do all this yourself, go to patreon.com/ArthurWhitehead. You can get this project and all my other projects, which I'm busy uploading at the moment, for $5. And follow me on Instagram if you want to see what I'm doing on it every day. I'm going to try and start a vlog there so you can sort of see my everyday life as a 3D artist at the moment, what I do every day, and also generally give like small tips and stuff along the way on that. I also do post my renders and just everyday and real life pictures on Instagram there as well. If you want to see my tutorials and renders and my more professional side, you can go to facebook.com. You can find me on Arthur Visuals as well. All the links will be in the description. If you have any questions, let me know. I know this was a lot to take in, especially if you're maybe intermediate, a beginner. It is quite a lot. I'll try and do a separate tutorial on making an apple, grapes, and also making orange. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. Subscribe if you want to see more of these, and hit the notification button as well. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys on my next tutorial. Have a great day, and goodbye.